God and we shine, commitment, dedication, neurosurgery, comedy, music, Nollywood, SOTK, Dr. Core, MC Casino. We they represent, stand tall anywhere we go. Great Uniben, 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 great Uniben. Take a look at society, every sector, industry, you see. Hello viewers, welcome to another episode of the Uniben Alumni Series. I'm so excited for today's episode because we have a young alumnus with us today. He is the talk of the town. When you mention his name in Nigeria today, everyone wants to associate with him because he has made himself firstly proud, then our university has made us proud. I'm talking about James Ojo Alleh. Recently, during the 50th convocation ceremony of the University of Benin, James emerged as the best graduating student, not just the best graduating student, with a CGPA of 4.98. Let me welcome James. James, thank you for creating time. Very busy schedule you do have. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, let's start off, James, this way. You made a 4.98. That is wonderful. That is remarkable. Was it confirmed by the institution, by our university, that your CGPA is the highest the university has ever had?
Normally they don't make that confirmation openly to you, but then if you look at the history, you'll discover that my CGPA happened to be the highest ever since the past 54 years of the great University of Benin.
Yes, I'm so proud of that. With such a CGPA, I've also reached out to the authorities, and I'm hoping to get a response from them to just make it official that since the university was established in 1970, precisely November 23rd, 1970, that this is the highest CGPA a student has achieved in the institution. Hopefully, they will get back to me as soon as possible. Let's talk about your course, petroleum engineering. What was your motivation to study petroleum engineering? Because most times when we as young adults, we're applying for JAM, applying for tertiary education. We were either influenced by people around us or activities around us when it comes to our choice course, or we'll look inward and see what we know we are good at. Then we say, oh, this is an area I want to go to. So for you, James, what was it for you? What influenced your choice of studying petroleum engineering at our university?
Okay, I would start by saying that I fell victim of the same circumstance where I had to follow my peers and pursue another different field for a couple of years for finally standing and sticking with petroleum engineering. So initially in 2016, where I graduated from my secondary school, I chose to pursue medicine and surgery.
Okay.
After 2 years, I then migrated to petroleum engineering. I think it's a big transition for me.
Yeah. So you're actually in medicine for your first and second year.
Not. I was not in school, but then I applied for medicine and surgery for 2 years. But coupled with funding issues, I had to stay back. Then in 2018, I applied, but this time in petroleum engineering. So there was a reason why I had to go for petroleum engineering. Yeah.
Were you admitted initially to study medicine?
I was not admitted to study medicine the second time, but the first time I had issues with At that time, there was this caps issue with admission. Yeah,
Okay.
that was the year they started jam caps and all that. So I think I did not accept my admission, so I was rejected because
Oh,
I was not ready. As at that time, when they give you admission, if you don't accept it within 2 weeks,
yeah,
you
it
would
will be taken off
be
it. Yeah,
rejected.
yeah.
Exactly. So that I fell victim of that. Then the
Okay.
second year, it was to University of Benin, and funding issues could come, but it was not medicine I was given, right? But that same year, my brother gained admission, so I had to allow him go. So I had to wait another year. So the third time I had to write JAM in 2018. At that time, I was convinced that I needed to pursue after petroleum engineering. This time, no peers, no influence. It was my decision to go for it. And that stemmed from the fact that I had a dream. I'm a Christian, so I had that dream conviction that I saw in a dream where I was a petroleum engineer. I was actually solving a problem in that dream, right? So I took up that belief, right? I decided, okay, since I love mathematics, not only I love mathematics, I also have fun with physics. Then I decided to say, okay, let me go through the path of engineering, and I got that conviction. I said, okay, let me pursue after it. And yet, I was convinced. I decided to walk through that path.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
petroleum.
that's interesting. That's interesting. And you decided to go into petroleum engineering, and you went there to smash all the records. That's great to hear. Let's talk. Let's talk about your feats. Usually, those that make such a remarkable academic feats like yourself are not usually involved, and all the times involved in evolve significantly in other activities outside academics. Mostly they just have this routine from their hostels or their where they stay to the classroom and all and back. But that wasn't it for you, because looking through your time at the university, you were class rep for your class, you were departmental president, you were Society of Petroleum Engineering, the Uniben chapter, you were president, and all of that. How were you able to manage all these activities and responsibilities and your academics?
Yeah, I would like to mention some of the activities I was interested or I was involved in while in school before explaining how I was able to manage them. So some of the activities I was involved with, right? I was part of the Society of Petroleum Engineers. I was the president at that time. I was a class rep for 4 years. I was also the president of my department. I was a parliamentarian, right, of NUESA, of the Great University of Benin as well. I also involved myself with football, soccer activities. I was also a player. I was a striker. So, and let it be on record that I got some couple of good medals, right? So, yeah, I did involve myself in a lot of social activities, and I think that was the beauty of the whole thing. But then I was sure of what I was in for. That focus was there, that discipline was there, the determination was there. I knew what I was after. So in order not to feel like I'm left out or I'm trying to separate myself from my peers, what I do is to adjust. So most times when I set out plans to read, normally I read 8 hours minimum, 15 hours maximum in a day.
15 hours in
Um,
a day.
yeah, I do this three
Ah,
hours and mid shift. Yeah.
okay.
So 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I rest, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., just like that. That would be 12 hours. So sometimes when I enjoy the book, so I read additional 3 hours, so making it 15 hours. While days I go to classes, right? I know from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. There's time for classes. So, but I read in the morning, 3 to 6 a.m. Then when I come back from school, I read another 6 hours, that's 9 hours. So minimum of 8 to 9 hours every day. So I had to manage those social activities with my reading time. So days I know I'll be going for a football match, I'll be going out for an activity. I try to read very well during the morning hours so that when I come back, even if I'm tired, I'll be able to read additional 3 hours, making it 9 hours. So that's how I kept it going. So I know the time I'm supposed to leave every event I attend. because I know it's going to have an issue with me. So I read from the beginning of the semester. So basically, there was discipline. I was conscious of what I was doing, what I want to achieve. And there are some events I try not to attend because I need to take my time. And even if I attend, I know when to leave the event. And even as a president, I also learn how to delegate duties. So there are some events I was not fully involved, but I had to delegate some of my wonderful escorts who served with me to do those jobs. So I think these are some of the skills I would say I've learned from several conferences and events I attended. And I'm grateful to God that it worked through for me. So students who wants to follow the same path should understand that these things will come, be aware that they will come, understand the system and approach it, if not in the same manner, but create a strategy that will work for you. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And let's talk about your first class. When you got into the institution, right from 100 level, did you set out your plan to make a first class right from 100 level?
Yeah. I wanted to make it first class because I thought in my mind, I was like, I need to come out from the shell. I want to be seen, but I don't want to say it with my mouth.
You want
So
to,
I want to create, yes, I want to create a record that will bring me out, not me saying it in my mouth. So I looked up, I checked the records in Uniben. So I started monitoring all the records that was going on from the very beginning. So those days I don't go for competition physically. I just stay at home and watch it online just to see the records that were created.
oh,
Then
you were intentional about what you wanted.
yes, and that was the case. I think my mind was restructured in 2019. Yeah, that was when the whole thing dawned on me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Did you ever think of making a 5.0? Did you think of hitting the maximum?
I would say no from the start because in 2018, my mind has not been restructured at that point because I just felt let me come into school, make it first class, maybe 4.5. But in 2019, I met some mentors. That's why I told people that my life was I leverage more mentorship, prayers, and effective planning. So I met someone who mentored me, Dr. Christus Topa. He mentored me in 2019 and helped me understand the engineering of the mind. So at that point, after that series of meetings I had with him, I went back and asked myself, what do I want to create for myself? What history do I want to create for myself? So that was when I discovered that the department has not had the best graduating student before from the Faculty of Engineering. They have had excellent students, amazing students with great CGPA, but there has not been anyone that has been named the best graduating student of the faculty.
No,
So when exactly, so when I knew that record, I said, okay, there's something to break. So I started looking up for the highest CGPA. So I had to calculate my CGPA at that point. I summed them up. That if I had 5.0 to what would be the highest I ever had. So I knew my limits. So my limit was 4.98. I knew I could not cross above that anymore. So I had to go for that. So that was why I limited it to that 4.9. But yes, I
okay,
was intentional about it. Yeah.
okay.
How
So
I wish the mind started from 2018. Probably
yeah, you could have broken that. That's
something.
good anyway. Um, uh, Initially, it means your plan was to break the faculty record, not even the university. You had the intention of breaking the faculty benchmark. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, sir. Yeah.
Okay. With this CGPA 4.98, how many courses did you not make an A cumulatively?
Okay. And the regular courses, I think about two, three, about two, three.
Try your 5 years in the university, and the other courses you made
Yeah.
A.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yes,
that's correct.
that's excellent. What was your toughest? You talked about 2018 or so. Yes,
Yeah.
was that your toughest level, or before then? What level was your toughest level?
Okay, if it's while I was in school, I would say it was 2019. Yeah,
Okay.
2019 was a very serious situation for me because it was at that time I was having funding issues. And I lost my dad in 2011, so I had to go through school, leveraging on my mom's finance. My mom is a petty trader. So she does this provision store. So we all had to leverage on whatever comes from that provision, right? So and at some point you start feeling for her because you don't want her to start borrowing money just to take you to school. So that 2019 was really tough for me. I was about even dropping out from school because
Wow.
I thought maybe I should go back home and teach. So um, teach. So, but then I saw a scholarship and I had to apply for that scholarship.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was coming to that scholarship. Yeah, because I
yeah,
saw your visits to the Edo State Subed chairman, Dr.
yeah,
Padi Yamo. Yes, who happens to be another distinguished alumnus of our university. And during
yeah,
that visit, you mentioned the Bedrock Foundation scholarship, which
yeah.
yeah, the chairman of the foundation, Engineer Usau Yadolo, who happens to be an alumnus of your department as well. He's so
That's correct.
yes, he's so proud of your achievement, and also you mentioning it, you have also inspired, push him to support other students more with his foundation. And how helpful was that scholarship for you? Because you just mentioned you thought of even dropping out because of
Yeah, that's correct.
finance. Yeah. So how helpful was that scholarship for you?
Yeah, it was so very helpful, just like you said. As at that time, when it came to Uniben, I had to make research about the owner, and that was when I knew that he was an alumni from my department. So, there's this kind of pride you have that your person they come. So I took the exam normally, and luckily for me, I won it. And ever since, they have been helpful because not only did they just give us the scholarship, they also created a WhatsApp group chat, added us on that WhatsApp group chat, and just kept the family together. And we had to submit our CGPA every year. So I saw that as a commitment from my end to do well, just to make him proud throughout my stay. So the scholarship was helpful, very, very helpful. At least at that point, I did not think about giving up anymore. I saw it like a commitment. And from my end, I decided to give back to the society in my own capacity by tutoring students for
Yeah.
free from that time till I graduate. And I'm grateful that he inspired me in that direction. Thank you.
Yes, let's talk more about your giving back. I understand you founded an organization.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes, please, can you throw more light on that, please?
Yeah, even before I get into school and got admission into University of Benin, I've had this passion of teaching people in what I know. So I don't hold things to myself. I just try to teach people, and I've taught several persons for free before I entered school. And so I love to teach, of course. Then in university, after that scholarship inspired me, I saw it as a good way to also give back in my own way. So I decided to open a foundation. I opened several of them. So I was teaching my Alpha team. Alpha team, that's my course mate. Then I had this core team. Core team was for my course mate. Alpha team was my faculty mate within the same level. So why go getters was for those from lower levels. So I believed in this chain to chain growth. That as you grow, you hold somebody at the top, then you hold somebody below you. So
No.
that was what inspired me. So I started teaching them from 9 to 12 every night. I did that for throughout COVID. I did that for years, like not one, not two, not three, over 6 years. I was doing that consistently, keeping the group, and they all recorded. They had great CGPAs as well. Probably you can reach out to them to confirm. But yeah, I had to do that as my way of giving back, not expecting anything from them. So I think God had His own way of blessing me. through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
God bless you greatly. Let's talk about the attributes you took from the institution, from the University of Benin. For so many of us, there are a lot of things that are still very handy for us today that we took from the institution. But for you in particular, what are those things? What are those attributes you took from Uniben that are still that you think would help you through life?
Okay, I would say resilience is something that I was not having, because I easily got breakdown easily when I see it's too much for me. But when Uniben will stress your life. So you have to be ready for the game. Yeah. So I had to juggle across several things, and I needed to stay strong. I needed to stay strong. So that was one attribute I see that I took from them. Another attribute is leadership qualities. I held positions, and I was able to talk to people older than me easily. I think that's something that the classroom will give to me. But yes, I gained that from them. Yeah, I also understand the place of honor, right? I think seeing people in several events I attended in Uniben during my time in school, I saw several people who honor themselves. Like I saw people honoring each other in school. So I saw that for that scholarship, I saw it as an honor, because you don't know me from Adam. I chose to give me that scholarship. So I saw it as a way, okay, I should also remember my society wherever I go, wherever I'm coming from, right? So basically, aside from the academic qualities, right, these are some of the soft skills. I also learned some other skills on my own. Yeah, and that contributed to what I'm doing currently.
Okay. Going forward, what next? What next for you? Because now you are now a community person, because we all are interested in your growth and development. Yes, what next one? Then secondly, do you feel a bit of pressure? Because going forward, like I said earlier, a lot of people are interested in you. They want to see what you turn up to be. And is there any form of pressure on you that you don't have to disappoint yourself first or any other person?
I think to answer that question, sir, I don't think there's a pressure, because I've been in a place where I've tried my best not to allow myself to be pressured by people around me, right?
Mm.
And that's why I said that's the quality I've learned from Uniben. So I'm not pressured at all, because I know what I'm going for. I know what I'm on for. So they are coming. I see it as a suggestion, right? I see it as an advice on what I should do and what I should not do. But yes, I'm sure what I want to go for. Now, to answer your question on what is in for me,
Yeah, what next?
this right. So my plan is to be open, right, to experiences and improve knowledge. So I see it as a two-way path. I want to gain experience in my industry, the oil and gas industry. So if I have an opportunity where I can leverage and be paid well, I'm being paid well, I will take up the offer and leverage on that and build on my experiences, right? Because while in school, I also had to earn some of these skills I feel will be useful in the industry. So it's not like I'm coming with just 4.98. I'm coming with value, and I know what I can offer to any organization, right? Aside from that, I'm also open to going for grad school, because there was a time I had to interact with some international guys, and I noticed that there are some curriculum, right, that they know that I don't know. Probably I was not exposed to it during my time in university. So
Yeah.
I feel there's some hidden treasures around the Western education that I am yet to know. So I would see grad school as a way to go and learn all of that, so that I can be a master at what I do, right? So I see grad school as also another opportunity. So for now, I'm being open to these offers.
Okay.
if Nigeria won't give me a good paying job, then of course I'll go for grad school. Yeah.
Okay, talking about a job, Nigeria giving you a paying job, do you consider teaching, lecturing? You have been teaching for some time now, even as an undergraduate student. So this time officially, is that something you can consider? I know you mentioned good paying job. And in our society today, we know lecturing or lecturers are not the best paid. If you just oppose what they do in the society, we don't think they are paid enough. Is that something you consider? But also, we also know that lecturing or research, there is financial gains when you expose yourself to not just within your university, but to outside the town and gown meetings. You could also get financial gains from that. So is lecturing, is teaching something you will consider if you are being offered the opportunity?
Okay, I think to answer your question, sir, I think the only reason why you have to bring up the teaching offer is because I mentioned that I've been teaching for a while. But one other
Yes, sorry,
one
sorry
other
to budge in. Yes, you said you've been teaching for a while, and also our university
right.
over time has a tradition of retaining their best, at least offering
Oh,
them the opportunity to stay back. So it is then up to the graduating student to decide if to stay back or not. So that's why I asked.
okay. I don't know if that's the case because all the best graduate students I know, uh, I'm not really seeing them around. But then
Yeah.
I love to teach, but there are other things I also love to do, right? I also love my industry so well. I love to be an engineer, to provide solution. I love to be part of a team to work out a solution. That's basically what I love to do. But in the process of providing those solutions, I can go ahead to teach people what I've actually learned, my experience from that instance, right, or from that project. So that's where that teaching comes in. So if you are asking if a professor or maybe a lecturing job is given to me, I would consider that. Like I said, I'm open if it's a good paying job, right? If it's not a good paying job, trust me, I would have to divert all our fast. I want to work in a place where my work is being valued, and not just valued, where I can grow as a professional in what I do. Right? I want to be an engineer. In the process of becoming an engineer, I want to teach people what I do.
Mm.
So if it has to be a classroom, which I'm not frowning at, they have to pay me well.
Okay, that's fair. That's pretty fair. Thank you so much, James. It has been wonderful speaking with you. It has been so engaging, and once again, congratulations. And we hope and pray that going forward, you have better opportunities to pick from, and you continue to fly the colorful flag of our institution.
Yeah, I would also like to thank, I don't know the number of persons that will watch this call, because who I am today is not just me, right? I would like to thank God because He was instrumental to my success, right? I would like to thank all the mentors who guided me, those I know and those I don't know. There are several of them that guided me that, like I told you in 2019, Dr. Christos, who
Yeah.
engineered my, right? And those who are currently assisting me in different ways, those who have reached out to me, send me a message, call me in several ways just to appreciate what I've done. I never saw it as big as this, but people like you who have single-handedly found me and chose that, okay, let me share my story to the world. I am saying all of this just to motivate students out there that they can actually do it, right? Just as I've done it. There's no pride in it. I'm just happy that God used me as a tool. And I'm also grateful to my mom. I hope she's proud if she gets to watch this. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you, James. Thank you so much. I've been speaking with James Ojo Alleh. He's a first class graduate of petroleum engineering from our university, and recently smashed the record. He graduated with a 4.98 CGPA. It is rumored that that is the highest CGPA an individual, a student, has gotten in the university since it was established in 1970. We are hoping to get response from the authority to confirm, to make it official, that that is the highest CGPA ever. Continue to subscribe to our channel. We'll bring you more motivating and inspiring interviews. Thank you and bye for now.
1970, we sure we did the forefront. Knowledge for selfish, for sure we did the work. Auditorium to basement of all faculty of law.